We live in a very sexualized society today. We really do. I was thinking about this the other day as I was scrolling through my Instagram feed, and I noticed more than ever that a lot of soft pornography is being pushed to us on these platforms. Now, I understand how these algorithms work. They continue to show you the type of content that you regularly interact with, which is why every time I see, for example, a girl wearing lingerie, jumping up and down or something on an Instagram reel, I always click on not interested. And it's not because I don't like women. Believe me, I do. It's because I don't want to keep seeing this coming up all over my social media feed, because I am fundamentally weak. As a man, I will cave into my desires. If I keep seeing these things again and again and again, it's going to fucking take me down. Man down. You got me. You know, it doesn't take a lot to fucking bring me down like that, you know? And there's a lot of beautiful women on these social media platforms that know what they're doing. And they're very good at it. They really are. And a lot of these women are making 10, 20, 30, 40,000 a month because they have thousands of men that just cave into their temptations, jump on their OnlyFans accounts, subscribe. And it's just not what I want for myself. And it's not something I want for you guys either. It really fries your brain. It really does. This constant push of soft pornography. You have to do your part to try and limit the amount of it that you see on your social media platforms. Which is why I advise you guys to stop liking these videos and these pictures, because you'll just continue seeing them. If you're frustrated with how often you are engaging in self-pleasure and how often you watch pornography, it really starts with things like this, with what you see on Instagram. Because you think to yourself, oh, wow, she's got a nice pair. And then you click on her Instagram account and there's 30, 40, 50 videos. You start going through every single one. The devil comes into your mind, right? And the devil tells you, just click on her link, her OnlyFans link. Just have a quick look. You know, have a quick browse. Or what a lot of guys do is they'll copy the name and they'll try and find videos of this person online, and it just takes you down a dark road, and you find yourself 3 hours later in a dark room, staring at your reflection in the screen of your laptop, thinking, what have I become, right? And it starts with that temptation, that lustful desire. And look, there's nothing wrong with desiring a woman. Absolutely nothing wrong. But when you're seeing in any given day more women than a man 100 years ago would have seen in his lifetime, there's something really wrong. I want you to really think about this, guys. The average man today in any given day is able to see more naked women than a man 100 years ago would have ever seen in his lifetime. Really let that sink in. It's insane. And that definitely has an effect on your brain. Absolutely it does. You are frying your brain with constant pornography. It's very dangerous. The knock-on effect it has on other areas of your life is very serious. There's a saying from the late, great Jim Rohn, everything affects everything. No event is isolated. You might think, man, Ali, I've got everything in my life in order except for my porn addiction. It's rarely that. It's usually, man, this porn addiction is ruining my fitness. It's ruining my relationships. It's ruining my self-confidence in my career. I'm unable to get the job I want, etc., etc., etc. And it starts with a lack of control over your desires. Look, we're all weak when it comes to our desire for women. Every man, every heterosexual man will always desire women. That will never go away. If you got testosterone running through your bloodstream and a beautiful woman is presented to you, I mean, you're going to feel some type of way. You're going to be like, wow. Right? And a woman is absolutely one of God's greatest gifts to man. In fact, it's the greatest gift to man. You know, God created Eve for Adam. Right? So absolutely, You know, I'm not here to say that, oh, avoid women completely. No, 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 no. What I want you to avoid is this incredibly destructive path of constant self-pleasure. Because I've seen the effect it has on so many men. I've experienced the effect of consistent self-pleasure. It's not good. It's dangerous. It's very dangerous. Destroys self-esteem. Makes you view yourself as a loser. Takes you out of the game completely when it comes to wanting to actually pursue a real woman and have a real relationship. It often makes, a real relationship seem a little bit boring because it's not as extreme as what you see in pornography, right? So it's very damaging. It absolutely is damaging. And I don't want that for you guys. And look, it's becoming increasingly difficult because they're really pushing. They're really pushing for you to see this shit. They understand that if we can get these young men to cave into their desires, they won't rebel. They will be sedated animals. Weakened versions of themselves. Absolutely. Which is why in wars, oftentimes the opposition will fly over a city and drop loads of, porn magazines, for example, to the young men that are fighting. They understand if they can distract them, if they can get them to cave in to their desires, they will become easier to target. They will become more vulnerable. So this is actually a tactic they use in wars. This is a serious game. And look, see it this way, right? The fact that most governments have not banned porn tells you something. It really does. Because they can do everything in their power to shut it down if they wanted to. I mean, for goodness sakes, they literally shut down TikTok in the US for a few hours before Trump, of course, overturned it, right? But that goes to show they can. If they wanted to block these sites forever, they can. But they don't want to, do they? They don't want to. Millions of men log in every day to these sites and just drown themselves with loads of porn. And you look at these men and they never look like strong, competent, confident males. They always look like they're lost. They look like they're defeated. They can't even look you in the eyes. They absolutely cannot. Weak handshakes. Frail bodies oftentimes, not all the time, but oftentimes a very weakened body. Full of fucking saturated fats, right? High body fats. 30, 40% drinking Monster, eating Doritos, jacking off all over them. I mean, it's not good. A strong man is somebody who is able, to the best of his ability, because no one's perfect. I'm not saying that you should stop watching porn forever and then magically you will. But a strong man is somebody that does everything in his power to ensure that he stays away from these things. He cares about his self-image, the way he feels about himself. When you look in the mirror, do you feel like that's a man right there who is following the commandments of God? I know some of you aren't religious, but for those of you that are, when you look in the mirror, do you feel like this is a man that follows the commandments of God? This is a man that lives life to the best of his ability, is an asset to the community, is a great example to other people? Or do you look at yourself in the mirror and think, man, what a pathetic loser. Can't keep his hands off himself, constantly jacking off. Pathetic. Because, gentlemen, I want you to see it this way, right? If you can't keep your hands off yourself, then you probably can't go out there and accomplish many other things. Because you can't even get your own hands off of your own body. And yet you want to go out there and create this and create that. Which is why a lot of men feel like they're not able to accomplish their dreams because of their porn addiction. They feel like if I can just overcome this issue that I have, I will be able to go out there and aggressively pursue my dreams. Which is why when guys engage in the NoFap movement, which for those of you that don't know is basically where you abstain from self-pleasure for as long as you can. But the longer you go from abstaining from that stuff, the more energized you feel and the more aggressive you feel when it comes to pursuing that goal. The confidence surges back into you. You have this new energy about you. That sexual energy that is running through you is now being used to pursue excellence. I've spoken about the book Think and Grow Rich previously on the channel. Napoleon Hill talks about sexual transmutation in one of his chapters. Harnessing that sexual energy to go out there and pursue excellence. That's a common trait that a lot of successful men have. They're able to harness that, often go periods of time without engaging in intercourse. Obviously back then, at the time the book was written, there wasn't all these porn sites. But that really has destroyed the average man today. It really has. I single-handedly believe, or I believe, should I say, that single-handedly porn has destroyed the dreams of millions of men around the world. I'm going to say that again. I believe that porn single-handedly has destroyed the dreams of millions of men around the world. It has taken them down an alternative path of destruction, darkness, and a complete lack of hope and light, honestly. It's insane what it's done. It really has. So I want us to consciously, to the best of our ability, live a well-stacked life. And at the back of our minds, think about the destruction. Sometimes what really helps you is not to think about what you'll gain, but what you'll lose if you continue down a path that you're at. When I speak to guys about their porn addiction, I oftentimes tell them, listen, man, focus on the serious consequences. Human beings are wired more to want to avoid loss than the pleasure of gain. If someone told you, I'll repossess your car, that will trigger you more than, I'll give you a car if you accomplish this goal or whatever. You don't want to lose. You don't want to lose things. It hurts to lose something. So think about what you could lose if you go down this path. You could lose yourself completely, man. You could lose a remarkable life that you would have attained had you avoided this destructive path of porn addiction. Okay? As I always say in my videos, the first step to change is self-awareness. So if you're seeing all this shit, maybe it will help you to take a break from social media or reset your Instagram page or whatever it is. Only engage with content that you like. Stop engaging. Of course, every guy wants to like a picture of a woman, but it's a loser thing to do. When you're number one of 4,000 or 5,000 people that are liking a girl's picture, it's a loser thing to do. Don't be doing that. Okay? If you like cars, if you like suits, like pictures and videos that are around this topic, right? But gentlemen, be very careful. There is a real agenda out there to weaken men globally. As I said, if they wanted to get rid of these sites, they could do so just like that. But they're not doing it. So that tells you something. Don't be part of the 97%. Be the 3% that decide to live a life of strength. Do the best of your ability, gentlemen. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you give it a like, comment down below. And if you want to book a coaching call with me, if you're struggling with something, the link is down below as well. I'll see you guys in the next video.